to everybody around the world and to my subscribers. I just ask everybody, please pray for my little young hamster Rocky. He's not that old, he's only a few months old, he's still a little fella. And I only got him a few months ago. He broke his tooth last night and like really close to the gum, and he screamed like murder. And when I found him, he was in so much agony, and his whole face was covered in bright red blood. His paws were covered in blood, and he was like gasping, like he was choking on his blood, and it was horrifying. And I had to rush him to the emergency vet, and they cleaned him up and found out that his tooth had broken up like here, but there was so much blood. And anyways, he got cleared. He got cleaned up at the vet. They gave him some painkiller and stuff, and I've got to give him painkiller for the next 2 days. Um, but he's alive. In the long run, he might be. He should be okay because even if he loses the tooth, which I'm hoping and praying he won't, um, he'll still have at least one tooth and all his other teeth. But there's just a few things. Like I'm worried that maybe part of the tooth or something. I think it's still there, but I'm just worried that like a fragment of bone might be stuck in his throat. I'm worried that all that blood clogged up and clotted and hardened inside his little tiny nose passages or throat. And so I'm really worried about those things because those could cause him to suffer a lot and die. And like he doesn't seem to be like the vet said he should be okay. But like today, all day today, he had like squinty eyes and it looks like he's in a lot of pain. But he doesn't really. Well, I didn't put any food in there because he can't eat any solid food, right? Because you don't want to break the tooth off and cause him more pain or make it bleed again. So I gave him like Greek yogurt with honey in it, and he licked that up. But he hasn't really had much food, and I haven't seen him drink his water. And hamsters, it only takes a day or a couple days for them to die of hunger or thirst. So I just want to make sure that please pray that he'll be strong. I always tell him that he's a strong little fellow, but please pray that he'll be strong, that his body will be strong, and that he will be able to eat and drink. Please pray that God will bless him with hydration and nourishment. And I need him to be able to eat what he can, what's safe for him, and to drink water so that he can help his body to recuperate. I don't want him to give in or give in to the pain and not eat. The other thing is, like I said, I'm worried that something might be obstructing somewhere. But when I just gave him some little peas mashed up, I couldn't get them mashed, so they're like little pieces. And when he ate them afterwards, he was like squeaking a bit, like it was in his throat. So I'm just worried that he's got a lot of dried blood in there or a piece of bone or something. Um, I don't know why his throat would be swollen shut, but it's got to be, if anything, it's got to be blood or bone or something. So to please pray that his little body will be all right, that his nose, his throat, and his lungs and all that will be fine, that they won't have anything obstructing them. Please pray that he'll get his hydration, whether from God or from his water. Please pray that he'll eat his food or get nourishment from God or whatever. And please pray that his pain will go away. It shouldn't last forever. It should go away. But please pray that his pain will go away and lessen. Please pray that he can sleep well and that his body will just get strong, his immune system, and help fight off any infection. Because they're so tiny and it's their tooth, it would be very easy for them to get germs or an infection in there, and that could do them in. So please pray that he'll be strong through this. I've been praying a lot. Um, but he's a good little boy. He's a really sweet little boy. And when we got him, he was like I had after my other hamster Tally died suddenly. I waited a few months. I went out and got a new little hamster. He died within a week or two from a disease he had from the vet. Right, he suffered a lot, and that was terrible. He couldn't eat any food, and he like starved and everything to death. Um, so his name was Little Fella. So after Little Fella, I got this hamster. This hamster I think is like the brother of Little Fella, right? He looks the same in their unique coloring, right? He's like a smoke color. And but when we got him, he was like left behind. like he was like the last to go. There was only like him and a few others, and whatever, something traumatized him at the pet store. I'd never seen in my life. Like when we went to go take him, like when they brought him out from the back room, he was squealing, like screaming in fear and terror, and he had the look on his face of pure terror. So he had gone through something. I don't know if the people were mean to him or if animals scared him or what it was, but he was so traumatized, like PTSD. And I brought him home, and we had to comfort him and show him love and all that there. And he used to be very. The reason I named him Rocky, his name is Rocky. But the reason I named him Rocky is because he was so traumatized by whatever it was that when I tried to befriend him at home, and I put my face close to him, so that he can know I'm his friend, he slapped me across the face, right? So I called him Rocky because he like punched me in the face, and it was so cute. But he was terrified, right? So I had to, because he went through so much trauma like that, and I've had to. He's finally better now. He's still very timid at noises and stuff, but I went through all that effort with him, and for that poor little guy to go through the terrible pain last night, like the vet said, it hurts just as much as when we break a tooth. So it would be like if you got a sledgehammer and just like rammed your tooth off at the jaw, like, and your whole face covered in blood and your hands covered in blood and you're choking on your blood. That's what that poor little guy was going through last night, this morning. And I'm just worried because when I gave him his yogurt and the little peas, he started to make like the squealy, choky type noise, and you know, I, you know, he's supposed to be able to recover. You know what I mean? The worst thing that's supposed to happen is he might lose his tooth, which is bad because then he can't eat properly for the rest of his life. That's bad enough, right? But that's what would be the normal scenario. Like, but now that he's been like squinty eyed, not eating and stuff all day, and when I gave him his food, he kind of like seemed like he's choking on it. So like that would hinder what's supposed to happen. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm really worried for him. Please pray for him. I don't want to find him dead. My birthday is very soon, and without saying what the date is, my birthday is very soon, and I really don't want something bad to happen to him. I want him to have a nice long life, 3 years, 4 years plus, and I want him to be able to eat his nuts. He loves sunflowers and peanuts. I want him to be able to have nice strong teeth, and they love nuts, man. So that lights up their day. But anyways, please pray for Rocky, and he really deserves it. He's a good little guy. But anyways, thank you, folks. God bless you.